Isn't it just crazy how 203 days fly by so quickly? 203 days since they were crowned champions for the second time in just 3 years. Doonside host Quakers Juniors. My name is Mark DePoli. Just like the 1,456 days after my debut on the microphone, back for another year in the place that I call home. Thank you for having me for another season. I think it's time we talk about some Laing Simmons Men's Premier League football here in Blacktown. Well, it's really simple for Doonside Hawks. If you do the same thing as last year, you'll be singing all night come the colder months of the year. Grand final champions from finishing second in the league. Without a question, Dooney have been the superior force in Blacktown when it comes to the finals since the turn of the decade. A champion team with the only major addition being the two-time Second Division Player of the Year and Golden Boot winner. He is quite the signing, and what he could prove to be could just launch them into that premiership hope. It's a different story for Quakers Juniors though. Thrice champions since the turn of the millennium, most recently in 2018. It's been a long time since that grand final win though. Last season, they lost a lot of senior players, but alternatively it allowed a really young squad to, yes, be thrust into senior football where they were initially sinking, but they'd come to develop as a team and as a unit before finishing the season in a really rich vein of form. Now, the best of those younger guys will stick around and compete for their spot against some of the senior boys who have made their Quakers Hill Junior return. The names of those boys, I'll leave it till we read the lineups. Today represents something much more important though, as Doonside locks horns with a club whose crest is enshrined with a bull, Quakers Hill Juniors, and the season commences officially. It marks the 6th annual Dimic Memorial Cup, which is the second time that we are blessed to say features as a live-streamed match. That means we can give this day the attention it deserves. Dimic, a man taken from us far too early, befriended by the entire competition, recognised as one of the nice guys, his best mates who, at the time, and some still do mind you, were left grieving while wearing these jerseys. A legacy honoured by two of Blacktown's most storied and biggest clubs. Long live the Dimic Memorial Cup and what it stands for. 46 forever is the theme this year, his jersey number. To the parents who brave this occasion each year, Blacktown Association thanks you for your bravery. Now, as we turn our head towards the football, there are some things that we should talk about. Now, I was expecting this game to kick off at 6, but it seems we are slightly delayed. The teams had not even made their way to the Broadwalk, so I will fill the time accordingly. Once again, to those who are watching along, thank you for being here. Let me take you through some of the things that have happened around the grounds today. There has been an absolutely sensational set of football matches down on the grass fields here at this beautiful precinct. Marion have found themselves as come-from-behind winners against their arch-rival Ponds, 4-2, including a Kelvin Afori hat-trick of free kicks. 4-2 against Ponds. What a season opener that would have been. Quakers Hill Tigers and Riverston have drawn 3-3, despite Tigers at one point being down by 2 goals. And as well, finally, the other game, Eastern Creek prevailed as 3-1 winners in Polonia's second debut in the First Division. In fact, literally on cue, a bit of egg on my face, there's been an update. Tigers have actually gone down 4-2. So Tigers and Polonia have lost on their first matches of the season, but Marion have found themselves up 4-2 over arch-rival Ponds. Now back to the point at hand, what we celebrate this day and remember it for. 46 forever Ryan Dimic, his parents, I presume, making their way to the centre of the park to meet with some of the Doonside and Quakers Juniors committee as well. His jersey, which remains in that wonderful frame, will go and sit in the Doonside change room for long time after this, for sure. Some photos being taken as the players now finally make their way towards the runway, and we're looking forward to this game and the season, the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1, finally kicking off. So I think it's about time that we go through the very first lineups of the season, and to those who, of course, tuned into our All-Star matches, of which there were 3 back in January, it's great to have you back too, you wonderful returning viewers. We will start with the champions looking to kickstart their season with a win, and of course, 4-time straight winners of the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup. We'll start in between the sticks. Matt Dudgeon. 2 shoulder dislocations and reconstructions won't keep him from missing the first game of the season. The big boy between the sticks is back, having won and kept a really good first half clean sheet in the last game that he played, of course, the grand final. Jordan Haddon's only been there for 3 years. He's won 2 grand finals and is one of the best spoken people we've ever seen on our podcast, by the way. You should go and watch that when they do come out on Thursday nights. And of course, the rest of the back 4 reads exactly as you know it. Jake Taylor, partners one of the best friends, by the way, of Ryan Dimic in Jaden Swearab into his 20th year, his 2-decade year as a Dooney player, of course, the club captain. Liam Howard is at left-back, 2-time player of the year for the left-back position, 2-time All-Star representative as well. It's a first start in first grade, I should say, for Zach Salturaga, despite the fact that he's been in and around the squad for a long, long time. He's never debutised on the starting 11. Now he gets the start of the base of the midfield next to Ryan Dominici, who, of course, was so critical in that run into the grand final and win last year, scoring against Marion in the semi, you will remember. At the top of the midfield is Daniel Alessi into his second year since returning to the club after he, of course, won the grand final with his goal in the first couple of minutes against Pons in 2022. And yes, by the way, to finally reveal it, Byron Grandemainge will start. The former Tigers man made his move in the off-season to the champions. This is the big addition that we've all been talking about. He'll, of course, partner a man who only seems to score and keep his best games for grand finals, Ethan Eichen. And, of course, Marcus Correa came second in the Golden Boot last year. All 3 of them all-stars, all 3 of them brilliant, and what they could produce this year could be very scary indeed. We will now head to Quakers Juniors, who have got some names that will be familiar to players and fans of the Premier League who have been watching for many a year. Nick Balcom, the former Tigers goalkeeper, retains his spot this year in goal. Sol Surgeon, I do believe, from looking at the lineup, will be starting as the right back upon his return after actually serving an entire year off. He was suspended as well in the Oz Cup, which was a suspension that ran from 2 years ago, but after a year off of football, he's back, which is a great thing to say. He'll be partnering his old mate Connor May, returning from all age this year in the 39 jersey. Of course, he used to play as a winger, now these days a centre-back, and he won Golden Boot in reserve grade when he did. Next to Logan Van Klooster, just recently got his forearm tattoo just 6 weeks ago. He looks way more scary now. He's in the 44 jersey at just 21 years old. He's one to look out for. And we'll round off the defence by talking about another returning player, a man who has one match of the round goal to his name when he used to play as a midfielder/winger. Luca Gallo back among it. This time he will return to his 32 jersey and play at left back. I'm going to interrupt Quakers Junior's starting lineup readout because we're going to observe gratefully a minute's silence. So if you'll please participate wherever you're watching from around the world, that would be fantastic. We will see you in 60 seconds. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 46 forever. Long live the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup and Ryan's legacy itself. Back now talking about the midfield of Quakers Juniors. Ryan Marchant, the captain and All-Star representative, will begin in the 15 jersey. One of the long-standing players of the club now. He's going to be next to, believe it or not, Gatsby Tuiteka Gray returning to Quakers juniors as well, the ultra football specialist. Although I have been told that that could swap with Logan Van Klooster, by the way. We'll keep an eye on how Quakers juniors do line up. A lot of these are predicted positions, by the way. Of course, Riley Saldan will start in the 25 jersey. He actually trained with the All-Stars as well, under the tutelage of course, his club coach in Julian Bombach. He will begin on one of the wings, I presume. Same as Will Salinas, of course, a goal scorer in a match of the round at this very venue on a nighttime catch-up game. He is ever brilliant. The former Parramatta Melita / Parramatta FC, and of course Blacktown City youth representative, is back in Quakers juniors colours and apparently looking very, very good in pre-season. Also playing through the middle of the pitch will be Jeff Mogger in the number 10 jersey. Made the team of the year last year, represented the All-Stars as well. And to finish it off, Zane Owen, who might be a familiar name to those especially affiliated with Quakers juniors. Of course, son of chairman of the BDSFA, Bill Owen, just 20, turning 21 years old this year, moving from Spartan, so very used to playing at this ground. He will be debutising either at top or at the back. I can't tell you which one it is because I don't know just yet, although it looks like he's looking to shift into a left centre-back role. Distribution, fantastic. Goal scored in the 21s today on his second debut for his boyhood local Blacktown Association club. That's how Quakers juniors kick off. You already know and can predict how that of Doonside will. Will the Hawks rise to the occasion, or will the bullish juniors find a way to finally buck the trend in what is a 4 straight loss run for them in the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup? Well, they've got some seriously senior players to help them out. As you can see, a back 4-4-3-3 versus a back 4-4-3-3 as well. So going away from that back 5 that they debutised with last year. Quakers juniors revitalised. And just the one change for that of the champions twice in the last 3 years. This is a fixture that very much favours those who wear maroon. It's also a 3-year run in all competitions, including friendlies, that Doonside hold the winning record. Not just the undefeated record, but a winning record over their rivals today. Long-standing rivals, the pirouette by Marcus Correa put in behind towards Ethan Eichen. Scored down that end in the grand final, of course, on 2 occasions. Those 203 days ago when we were here on that 31st of August night. Jordan Hannon getting involved with Jeff Mogger, the former Granville Rage attacker, coming out unscathed in that. Lucky enough, Jordan Hannon continues his run. Correa picks it up. Eichen shifting into this right-hand side position. Jordan Hannon becomes a striker. And there's a first contribution back in football, not just Premier League football, but football in general for Soul Surgeon. This now comes here to Will Salinas, revitalised from his year playing in the National Premier Leagues, of course. Gatsby, Tuiteka Gray, great to have him back. A bit of a push and shove with Jordan Hannon there. Jeff Mogger has space with the right back out of position. And out it goes for the first goal kick of the new season. Well, that was a fast start, wasn't it? Jaden Zwerb called the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup one of the most important games of every season that he plays, to the surprise of no one. Of course, one of his best mates, that of Matt Dudgeon as well, wearing shin pads dedicated to his best mate in Ryan Dimic today. That's a fantastic thing that I saw on his Instagram and Facebook story this morning. And of course, Joshy Atkins, who featured on our podcast last year when we previewed this fixture, also one of those really, really close mates of Ryan. And the more we talk about it, the longer their legacy lasts, and so we should. Just 90 seconds into this game, a couple of throw-ins, a goal kick, and a bit of action down both ends already. It's been fun as Jake Taylor sends it away towards the halfway line. Bit of a hit and hope as Daniel Alessi now puts a bit of pressure on Luca Gallo. All these boys who have returned to the club, barring Connor May and Soul Surgeon, and Will Salinas, I should say, actually, have already made their second debuts for the club. Of course, missing Matt Pombar. Oh, Salinas has found it over Zwerb. Of all people to make a mistake, the chip was always going to be a difficult one to execute on his weaker right-hand side, and he couldn't. There's only room for one Chilean sensation in the Blacktown Premier Leagues. Last year it was Marco Bravo Ortiz, and this time Will Salinas returns to that name tag, I'd have to say. Howarth, 2-time Player of the Year for the left-back position, to the surprise of absolutely no one. A bit of a push by Zane Owen into the back of Marcus Correa there. Unless he picks this one up. No Kyle Dominici, of course, for the champions. Injury concerns have really interrupted his pre-season. Still registered to the club, though, of course. So hopefully it's not too long before we see him back. Eichen who is actually an underrated header of the ball. A first touch here, it seems, for Byron Grandamange, and these colours we're not too familiar with him being in. Goes back to his African Cup teammate and now club captain and teammate in Jaden Zwerb, and he's harped on there by one of his All-Stars teammates in Ryan Marchant. Connor May stepped in hard there. 28 years old, Connor May in the prime of his athletic career, you'd have to say, and such a big asset to have back in the squad. Beaten away off of Icon, Luca Gallo found that his clearance went into touch though, so it'll be a throw-in. It's been a bit of a cagey start after the first 25 seconds or so were pretty entertaining. Both teams struggling to put their foot on the ball. Marchant out of the air. Salturaga beaten to it by Salinas. Hannon was there, but a bit haphazard in the tackle attempt. Marchant with a lovely reversal. That's what Alan Stagic can teach you at Hill Sports High, or Sevo, I should say, forgive me. Luca Gallo there, square pass to his captain. Looking for options. He's going to go back to the man who gave it to him. Luca Gallo shifts onto his right. Inside pass towards Salinas. The new boys linking up as they find Mogger, who was their player of the year last year. Held L2 as he held a back heel there towards Luca Gallo. Now it finds Gatsby Gray. A bit of a pressure applied by Jake Taylor, and it goes out for just a goal kick because it took a little divot off the underside of Gatsby Tuiteka Gray's boots. Rocking the long hair this season, it seems. Great to have Gatsby Gray, a reserve grade grand final winner thanks to his goal. A player like that back in the squad, of course. Capable through the entire spine of the team. Really, really good as a 6 as well as being a really, really good 9. Zwerb stands in, and on his weaker left foot, the captain of Blacktown most recently sends that into the night sky. Of course, our referees today, Jason McManus out in the middle, Stuart Chapman and Kiana Woods on the sidelines. Salinas competing with Zwerb. It's one there by Dudgeon. Also, to those who are watching along, forgive me for my extra nasally voice today. I am battling the cold as much as these two teams will be battling in midfield. Great rise and leap there by Zane Owen. Byron Grandamange looking for a goal on his Doonside debut. Of course, if you're new to these Premier League streams, don't forget to leave a comment in our Facebook or YouTube chats, because I'll see them and I'll respond to them. Ooh, big coming together there by Gatsby Gray and Liam Howarth. Liam Howarth very much used, I'm sure not happy with, but very much used to copping it. They are identifying him very quickly in every game as a major threat down the flank. And so teams tend to take it in turns to see who can put a foul on him. The only problem that they have with that is that his delivery is wicked good. If you are just joining for the first time today, its delivery is not quite as good as Kelvin Afori's. The two-time reigning player of the year scored 3 free kicks in a game against Ponds today. Anyway, Howard's ball in is also quite good, although it came off the back, the actual upper back of Marcus Correa then. A goal kick for Nick Balcom to take, one of those goalkeepers who wears a hat no matter the time, day or weather. It'll go out for a throw. Salinas. Marchant. Club captain. 2nd year running now. Loose pass. Massive danger. Warning signs flashing. Oh! Horrendous mix-up there. That should have been the first goal of the match of the rounds. That is a huge let-off for those in green. Now Luca Gallo sprints away. What a clip in behind. That could prove to be a bit too overhit there. Well, the previous pass by Marchant was underhit. That one was overhit. If you can find something right level between those two, he'll be right on song. A man called Lucas Camilleri suggests that Jordan Hannon is the best right back hands down in the league. Well, he hasn't watched me play all-age men's 7th, has he? Out that goes by Zwerb. Trademark clearance into touch, halfway up the line every time. Someone taken quickly. Might have hit the underarm there of Icon. Either way, it's coming to Daniel Soldan, who's barely had a touch. Just recently turned 20 years old, I do believe. super young and exciting talent, Daniel Soldan. Technical ability coming out of his ears. Up against Howard, though, who was physically so imposing. Put on a bit of size in the off-season, too, has Liam Howarth. Touch out of the air by Marcus Correa. Said to his barber 3 all round when he went for a haircut this morning. Looking very spick and spam for the match of the round. Oh, Jake Taylor trying a bit too much there. Mogga's free in the middle. Gatsby Gray looked very similar to how he scored his reserve grade grand final goal, actually, all those years ago, but not quite, it seems to be. Away, it's cleared by Eichen, looking like a right back at the moment. 50-50 challenge there between Correa and May. Connor May's done really well. Here is the former striker and Spartans man, Zane Owen, goes back towards his goalkeeper, Balcom, given away by Hannon. Mogga should be fouled here if Jordan Hannon doesn't want to get beaten. Still he goes on. Mogga doing so well. Great use of the body by the 25-year-old. Hannon just about recovers. It was teetering on illegal, but he's kept it just under wraps. If it had gone down Mogga, it would have been a yellow for the right back, and perhaps that would have been a better decision to make. Either way, they come away with a corner. They have some real size. Zane Owen, Marchant, Gatsby Gray is really handy with the head. Logan Van Klooster, up from 21, still eligible for that competition, raises one hand, the tattooed one, by the way, puts it in. Zane Owen's there! And it goes over and wide, just about. But he tried the most audacious of reverse flicks, perhaps, if you want to call it that. That was nearly one of the great, if not the greatest, Premier League goal. Over and wide it went, though. Bit of hyperbole to start the season. Right, Jake Taylor playing out from the back, gives it back to Matt Dudgeon in goal, really solidified that first grade spot. Has Dudge. Salturaga has not really gotten on the ball too much, been a bit of a quiet achiever so far. Great slide in there by Luca Gallo. Comes here to Soldan, taking up a central position, cuts back behind Byron Grandemage. Howarth hits the deck for the second time. Grandemage covering him now. He's going to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, asking a lot. Will he take a touch? He will, being closed down. He sends it away. Bit risky there. I'm surprised Byron went all the way back to his goalkeeper, but he obviously trusts him enough. Of course, hasn't actually played an official match all of pre-season because of the rules around 5 yellow suspensions. So this is his actual first official game, serving a suspension in the Australia Cup in midweek, which they might just be fatigued from, you know. Careful here, Jordan Hannon. Mogga is there, a save, and then the follow-up and a save, and somehow Dudgeon will be thanking the football gods. It came back to him. He's just saying to Geordie Hannon, sharpen up, mate, and clear it away next time. But Doonside not looking all too solid at the back. Also haven't said the name of Ryan Dominici all too much. Salturaga and Dominici struggling to influence the game. Maybe that's because they're being bypassed a bit too easily by the long ball football of Doonside Hawks, which, if you watched my podcast on 2 weeks ago, is something I suggested. But of course it is very early days in the season, but we'll see if they can eventually sort of fix themselves up. Surgeon. Great to have him back in the comp. A multiple-time goal scorer in the match of the rounds. A utility man of the highest order. Probably most comfortable at right back. Certainly around the right flank area, right wing, right centre mid. Ooh, bit of a challenge that went in there towards the back of the head of Correa. And I wonder if you watched that back, if there was a tiny bit of an elbow in that. Interesting. Really interesting. We'll watch it back on our live replay and make a judgment call there. Bit cheeky. But you learn to be sneaky when you play at the NPL level, so I'm not surprised. Interesting. Played short. Howarth, who's got great delivery, but it's on his right foot where it's not as confident. He goes for the left-footed switch. Hannon, fullback to fullback. Eichen there, clearly playing as a wide-sitting right winger. Given away to Connor May. And launched that forward. Ooh, a bit directionless there. Didn't know where he was kicking that, and it's gone well wide. But he's just readjusting to the speed of full senior football, of course, moving to the all-age divisions last year. That's Eichen now on the ball. Puts it infield towards Alessi. Lovely, delicate touch. Salturaga beaten to it by Surgeon, who sends it away into the bleachers. Neither team really looking at their absolute best just yet. We'll see who switches into top gear first. Another directionless throw. That's not the first time I've seen the ball given away from a throw-in. Really interesting. These two teams looking a little bit rusty. Square pass by Gatsby Gray towards Soldan, who's so good at unlocking defences. Howarth stood on the ball, allowing Marchand to get forward into a nosebleed section. Sends it all the way back here to his right back, Sol Surgeon. Square pass play towards Van Kluster. Here is Zane Owen. Darts past one. Splits the attackers with a neat pass back towards his centre-half partner, Connor May. Capable through any position, it seems. Connor May, much like Sol Surgeon, his right back. So much utility power in this team. Now the fullbacks bomb on, both of them, Surgeon and Garlock. Although that looked a bit too hot to handle for either of them. Into the hands of a grateful Matt Dudgeon, just 15 minutes into this one. Now Doonside try and launch an attack. It's beaten to Byron by a combination of Marchant, who's been everywhere, and Surgeon. Marchant coming into this season fit as a fiddle, it seems. Even more so than last year. Nice crowd actually watching along here. Of course, a combination of teams that were playing on other fields, as it's been sent forward by Zane Owen. Well, interestingly enough, it's been a game where both teams have opted to go long rather than play football. Now, that might be because of the pitch, that might be because they're not quite sure how to test the waters just yet, but it's not been the highest quality game of football just yet. We'll see if that changes. Ooh, my word. That's not a great tackle, to be perfectly fair. I think what saved that from being a red was that the contact came with the ground first, but it was the lunge in from the heavens that looked so dangerous. Let's have a look back on the replay. He's a lucky boy. Both Liam Howarth, that he hasn't had his ankles broken there, and Surgeon, that he just got to the ball in time, but because it was such a dangerous action, yes, it might have technically, by the laws of the game, been a clean tackle, but it was the contact made with the man on the follow-through that makes it so bad. Either way, I'm glad that my name's not Liam Howarth. Ouch. Liam Howarth, always getting targeted. That's kind of actually sad to see. I struggle with watching football when the best players and most technical players and quickest players always get hacked down at all levels of the game, but it's not really a letter of the law that you can protect players week on week with an accumulated set of fouls. Anyway, that ball's put in and sent away by Zano, and confident header. And then sent away by Surgeon. Comes here to the captain of Blacktown and Doonside in Jaden Zwerb. Now Hannon. Icon. Asked a lot of him though. Not really seeing Icon on the ball all too much, doing what he's best at. His front three not looking too fluid just yet. 16 minutes into this one. It's not going to be Quakers Junior's ball because it's in the feet of Icon. That's a good looking ball in, although against his former club in Quakers Juniors, it didn't end up being the greatest ball in of all time. Easy pickings for Nick Balcom. Jeez, that's a monster kick there. Has to be won by Jake Taylor. Got his weaker left foot to it. Soldan wins the header. Questions being asked of if that was offside or not. Salinas tries to shift it to his left foot. Ryan Dominici finally gets on the ball. He sends it here towards Icon. Now Icon running at defences, and now Correa running in behind. We'll go for the pot shot. It's always looking like it's going to go over, and it does. Interesting to see Doonside's wingers starting very, very wide. They are trying to stretch this back line as much as they can. It's allowing Correa, who looks like the central figure, to make some runs in behind, but it's not allowing the wingers to do probably what they're best at, which is also getting in behind. Saltaraga picks it up. Back it goes to Dudgeon. These two have also had plenty of experience playing together in reserve grade before both established themselves as more first grade likely, perhaps you might say. Gatsby Gray trying to predict where the ball would be passed to. Howarth read it well. Luckily, he shaked off any concerns to do with the injury after the slide tackle by Surgeon. Looks like River ended up being 5-2 winners, I should say, over Quakers Hill Tigers, not 4-2, I've been told. And a double red card in the Mariong Ponds game, both for Majid Eslami, the hero at this ground during the Oz Cup, and Tong on his second debut for Ponds. Interesting. It's going to be a fun season. Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League action coming to your screens live on this wonderful March evening. Isn't it great to be back? 2-2 March. That's the date we're at, and long live wonderful footballing occasions like this. Lights starting to turn on here on Eastern Road at Blacktown Football Park, this wonderful precinct. Again, I'd like to apologise while the game's in a bit of a lull for my extra nasally voice today. I couldn't quite do anything about it. I am loaded on vitamin C. Zane Owen stepping in and now running forward as a centre-back. Danger for here for Doonside because Jeff Mogger is capable of scoring from there, but didn't on this occasion. Quakers Individual Player of the Year. Didn't quite have his shooting boots on there. Well, it's a day for champions to step up and prove their worth. Of course, Lewis Hamilton taking sprint pole, then winning the sprint today. I don't know how we got into the topic of F1, but allow it. So can Doonside, two-time winners in the last 3 years, and in the last 10 years, five-time winners. And that includes, of course, a relegation around the turn of the decade. They are certainly the champions of the last decade or so, certainly since the turn of it, you'd have to say. Pumped forward there by Jake Taylor. Not really the man, with all due respect to him, you want dictating attacks. Dominici steps in, looking a frustrated figure. Then Jake Taylor's gone down clutching his knee. Now, 2 years ago, I thought he'd done an ACL in this fixture on this pitch. Thankfully, he ended up being okay, and it was just a weird cork for him. But this is not a pitch he necessarily loves playing on, unless it's a grand final, of course, where he wins 2 out of 2. Correa dropped in, got a pass Mogger. Well done. Now creating triangles with his right back here and right winger. Stepping in was Gala. Lost a shin pad in the process. Of course, Icon knows these players very, very well. They also know him quite well too. He did score in this fixture last year. In a 3-0 in the first time these two played. It was at Glendenning. It was this fixture last year where Icon scored on debut. His second debut for Doonside against his old club. Back into his second season at his second stint. 26-year-old, loving life. 7 grand finals, 7 man of the matches in his entire career, dating back to the youth days. And a positive goal contribution record in all of them too. Big coming together there. Hopefully both Soldan and Dominici are okay. Dominici key, maybe even the key cog to Doonside's style of play. Well done, Jake Taylor. Fears no man. Gives away the free kick because of the 2 hands on the shoulder, though. 21 minutes into this game. It's actually not one of those games where you'd have to say it's flying on by. This has actually felt like a pretty slow game. Perhaps it's a bit of the stop-start that's been occurring. That's nothing against the referee, I should add, by the way. It's just the nature of how this one's gone. Logan Van Klooster was good in the 21s game, which ended as a draw between these two sides. What's his delivery like this time? Been tasked with the corners. Now the set pieces. It's angling away from the keeper who's going to come for this one. Geez, that's really, really brave work, but he's hit the deck so hard. Ooh, he's trying to get back up, but it's a real ginger attempt at it. It's a strained effort. He's not immune to injury, Matt Dudgeon, so hopefully he's okay. He landed really hard, but that's the risk you take when you're a goalkeeper. You have to be brave in situations like that, and he's first and foremost claimed the ball, but hopefully he can get up onto his own 2 feet. Of course, a very capable deputy. I should say deputy on the bench in Jason Eckford, part of the thrashing of Quakers Juniors in the reserve going game prior to this. I believe it was 6-2. Either way, Doonside came out as winners in that one. So a bit of added time. We'll now go on to the referee's watch. Dudgeon looks and is moving okay as he takes this past the D. There's no press coming onto him, so he's allowed to go forward. Another pumped long ball, and it goes from goalkeeper to goalkeeper. Dudgeon actually still testing out the right knee, it seems. We'll keep an eye on him. Hopefully he's okay. He's a really good bloke as well as a good footballer, as most of the players out there are. Exemplary humans. Gatsby Gray puts it in behind. What a ball! Salinas should be the first. Oh, Hannon has just scored one of the weirdest own goals you're likely to see all season, but the beneficiaries are, of course, Quakers juniors, who have been mounting pressure over the last 10 minutes or so, and it's finally paid off. And Doonside, who have played like rusty champions today, are feeling the burn of not coming to the party yet. It has not been good enough to be perfectly blunt to one of the best teams on paper. It has been a hard watch, but Quakers juniors have just worked and worked and worked slowly into this game. And whether they are fortuitous or they are the masters of making their own luck, you be the judge. Either way, the scorecard reads 0-1. And we're underway in Blacktown Match of the Rounds. We have a goal, and it's an own one. Well, right on the cusp of the 1/3 mark of the game, we're bought a goal. And a Quakers juniors finally on the path to breaking that dreaded record that they have, not just in this fixture in terms of the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup, but the fixture in general. They haven't beaten Quakers in near on 1,000 days. I should say they haven't beaten Doonside, forgive me. It's just so strange. I can count on one hand the amount of times that Ryan Dominici and Zach Saltuaga have touched the ball, and I can count on one hand the number of times that both wingers for Doonside have made an entry into the box from their own dribbling or passes off their boots. It's been all through the spine, and this could be dangerous if this doesn't bounce nicely for Dudgeon, which it does, and Soldan just puts a little tiny touch on him. But Doonside are struggling to create down the wings. Byron beaten to it, wins a free kick though. Straight away called by Jason McManus. I should mention though, the goal, a lot of the plaudits have to go to Gatsby Tuiteka Gray on his official return to the club. A man who loves scoring at this ground. We're going to technically call it his assist, although Salinas got the final touches before it hit Hannon. Salinas probably should have hit it off of the first touch or first time. He'll know better next time, I'm sure. But it was the wonderful pass to find the number 30 that unlocked everything. Zverev now. Driven pass into the feet of their top goal scorer last year. Now chance here, poor touch. One back, BG7. Here he comes. Went for the dink instead of the short pass. One back by Byron Grandamange. Bounce with Alessi there. And then clipped in behind again. Byron there. Sliding challenge by Gray. Surgeon in there too. Has to be careful. He's on a yellow card, the number 5. Grandamange trying to dribble past 1, past 2. Of course, a number of these Doonside boys played summer soccer together here on this pitch as well. Zverev, one of them. Byron, one of them too. In the squad, Icon as... Actually, no, forgive me. Icon was playing with some Quakers Juniors representatives, I should say. Task. Not an easy one here for Correa to get around. Yep, there it is. Hannon will want to make amends. Correa now looks like he's moved into this wider position. Zane Owens clutching the back of his head. Icon's about to receive a yellow card. Clipped the 20-year-old on the back of the head and copped a yellow for it. Fair enough. Surgeon having a conversation with Jason McManus there. Well, the Hawks are not at the races yet. I don't think this Quakers junior team are playing their best football either, which is not a mark against them, but it shows exactly what their potential is. Zwerb had absolutely no one around him to pass to, thought his keeper might be coming for it. Instead, he's been forced into touch. They're just not linking up. For the squad that had the least amount of changes in the off-season, they're not linking up like you thought they might. Pressure is on here. Looks like a lot of the Tigers boys are here to watch. Just finished up a game against Riverston. Of course, that goes out for a corner. What on earth are we watching? If I'm being too harsh, let me know. Lots of love from Ash Muhammad for Byron Grandamange, quote-unquote the king of Blacktown. Nick Couchy, of course, midfielder for Doonside, who's actually at Finn's nightclub as we speak. Corner put in with threatening ball, but it was cleared. Not that they knew where it was ended up going. Past McManus, back in by Van Clouser. Not the greatest ball of his footballing career. Grandamange trying to beat it off of Will Salinas. Two similar players there going head-to-head. Great to watch. Marchant was strong. I apologise to the person who I spoiled the F1 results for. Promise I'll stop doing that. You can invoice me, I'll buy you a coffee. Nice work by Correa, who's actually played professional level football in the lower leagues of Germany. He knows exactly how to use his body well. Soldan, this is dangerous. Mogger should have probably left that for Gatsby Gray. Danger signs are warning. This is Ryan Marchant, wanted his first goal in a while. Now, the midfield defensively of Quakers has been breached. Correa tries to play it quickly. Once again, Doonside just not quite clicking in that front three. This is the first time, of course, they played together. That's better work by Grandamange. Will he play it short or go long? He tries to find Correa and does so. Goes back towards Hannon. Slows it down just a little bit. Opting to hold possession. Sal Turaga on his match of the round. First grade starting debut. After all these years, finally get to see him here. Well won there by Luca Garlo, and it's Doonside's ball to the dismay and hate of Quakers juniors. Zwerb trying to get things going quickly. Gives the ball to Hannon to take the throw in as quickly as possible. Doonside going to be able to respond. Can Quakers juniors find another gear and perhaps another goal? Salturaga beaten to it by Marchant, who's been the best player on the park today. Salinas slipped it out wide to Mogger, who's so good at shielding the ball. Now tries to cut inside like Kaka versus Man United all those years ago. Went down, gave away a free kick. Simple decision for the referee. Help to his feet is Jordan Hannon by the perpetrator. Game's starting to get a little bit higher in terms of the quality of both. Nice touch out of the sky by Icon, who's now looking like the central player then, who gives it away. Marchant finds Soldan, then makes space out wide to receive again, does the captain. Zane Owen. Toe punt, flick out wide. Hannon, beaten. Garlo, fullback on fullback, lost his shin pad again. Goal kick. Zwerb bringing it out of defence now with his centre-back partner, Jake Taylor. Howarth, Dominici trying to keep the ball. Back out wide towards Taylor, who's no stranger to going into those wider channels to try and facilitate something out of defence. Howarth slows it down. Jake Taylor still way up the pitch, though. Dominici steps into centre-back for the time being. Sauturaga pushed it through towards Alessi. Got to be strong. Sauturaga is that. He's a long-distance runner by trade. Marchant coming forward. Tackle Dominici. Mogger, short pass infield, Salinas. Gatsby Gray. That iconic number 7 jersey of his looks so good in the Quakers Juniors green. Poor pass there by Surgeon, although it might just trickle in if it stays on the line. No, it doesn't. Eventually goes out by the deploy sign. slightly more precarious throw-ins from that angle, and you sort of just have to send it long and hope for the best. And Howarth's ability to do just that has actually weighted them out of the mud, and then they win a free kick to aid them even more. Well, a really interesting football game so far as the Harley Davidson makes its mark up Eastern Road. Bit better by Doonside. Can they keep it going? Icon tries to div past one. Surgeon read it well. Weaker left-footed clearance did well. Luca Gallo. Doonside ball. Time for Ryan Dominici here. Loose touch, uncharacteristic of him. Strong in the challenge there, though, with Salinas. Look at how Will bounced off him just then. Lovely. Howarth. Delivery. Decent, but not quite where it needed to be. Mogga, loose touch by him, just took his eye off the ball. Time for Alessi. Turns over his shoulder to look to find Saltaraga. Does the same. Goes back. Hannon. Correa. Icon running in behind, but in a wide channel, being closed down, I should say, by Zane Owen, who has read everything really, really well. Dominici, no, that's not his strong foot. Will ended up proving to be an accurate pass. Howard does the same thing again, past Soldan, using his physicality to his best. Fullback on fullback, number 5 on number 5, and it's that in green who came out on top, but the throw-in it will be for those in maroon. On the far side of the pitch, right near the corner flag. Towards Grandemains, chested back to the left back, and that was just a rash decision to just put that in that vein. Look at the watch by the referee. We're actually on exactly 6:45 p.m, which would indicate that we're 45 minutes, aka a first half worth of time has been played, but we did in fact start late, and there was a 1 minute or two to add for an injury concern to the Doonside goalkeeper, of course. Quakers Juniors at least have 10 minutes to go to hold out before the half-time whistle. And sent away, and won by Salturaga, but he only really got a skim on it. Grandemain stepping in and then beating Alessi. His own man, I should say. 7, 6 and 8, all in tandem there for Doonside. Now it's the 7 of Grandemain running in behind. Zane Owen doing his best to hold him firm. Owen stood him up well. And then Grandemain put in a pretty horrendous yellow card challenge in there for seemingly no reason. And what that is a sign of sheer frustration. Just bodied Zane Owen, who wasn't expecting it, into next week, and picks up his first yellow of the season in his debut match for the Hawks. I think Doonside needs to get into the half-time changing room, knowing that they're not looking likely to score a goal, at least with their performance so far. And the champions need to have a spray at each other and come out in the second half performing very differently to what they're showing. And Quakers Juniors are not far from finding a second goal. Every time they go forward, they look genuinely threatening. Grandemain has to be careful from now until the rest of the game. 55-odd minutes that he has to play on the knife's edge, as does the fullback who'll be running out all game, though, in Sol Surgeon, who's looked great despite the year off of sport completely. Right, space for Hannon here. A loose pass, asking a lot of Correa up against Garlow, who's so capable and solid. And just that is what he proved to be. Marchand again steps in and ends up putting a really, really lovely pass to Salinas. Hits Jason McManus, and it'll be a drop ball. And I think that's actually come very much to the aid of the Hawks, who look like they're about to be sliced open on the counter. Quakers Juniors very impressive so far. Lumped away by the goalkeeper. Won by Jake Taylor. Straight to Daniel Soldan though. Riley, I should say, forgive me. Surgeon. Sort of hit it anywhere, ended up being straight towards Zwerub. Dominici trying to feed it forward, and Surgeon stepped in again. He's another one who's contending for that player of the match tag so far, I think. Zwerub here is going to try and drive this out of defence. In this game last year, he got a match of the round assist, Jaden Zwerub, in the second half for Marcus Correa. Alessi. This is better. Some space for Salturaga. Needs to keep the momentum going though. They've just lost a whole lot of it there. I think that pass needed to go forward. Asking a lot here of Howarth up against Soul Surgeon. No slouch physically. Well done there. Comes here towards Jake Taylor. Might line up a pot shot, you know. Cuts back. He's just about got rid of it towards Alessi. Stepping in was Mogga, but couldn't stop the momentum of the ball. It's still Doonside's better looking now. Hannon goes back to his captain. I can beat into it. Correa now involved. Bit of space for Alessi. Touch took him back out wide. Salinas put a bit of a touch on Alessi. Alessi wasn't quite happy with that. Now he drifts into this wide channel. Too much there for Marcus Correa. The passes is in the final third by Doonside, uncharacteristically below their level. Sent long towards Grandamange. Route 1 Dooney ball on the cusp of half time. Van Kluster, strong in the challenge. And did really well to find it again. Brilliant stuff with Riley Soldan. Gatsby Gray in behind, just overcooked it a little bit. The good thing for Doonside is that the score is only 1-0. And while they haven't really created a big opportunity just yet, in fact their best chance probably came in the opening moments of the game. Chance here though. Howarth, they need to get rid of it quicker. Byron Grandemain just hit the deck and stayed down. Now he's back to his feet though. Zane Owen lumps it away himself. Time here for Grandemain. Now dropping into this left back spot for the time being. Central pass here to find Jake Taylor being closed down. Can sometimes be caught on the ball napping sometimes. Very, very lucky to get away with that. And the foul will be retaken. The free kick, I should say, will be retaken right on the spot that it happened. McManus just keeping it honest. 4 minutes to go in regular time. Probably only 1 or 2 minutes to add on. It's been a quick game for most of this first half. Ball right into the box. Right in the penalty spot is Ethan Eichen. And then struck towards goal. A little deflection. Zane Owen might have just taken enough of the sting off there to stop a goal. Well done, son. And booted away by Balcom. And one in the air by Hannon. Picked up here by Correa. Looks over both shoulders quickly up against Lucagallo. Lucagallo's been good against him so far. The Zambrotta, you could say, of this Quakers juniors team. Although he was a right back. No. Not on the same wavelength in the final third. And away it goes. And out it goes. Where to next for Doonside Hawks? Grandamange keeps it in, gives it back to the man who took the throw in. In hard was Gatsby Gray. Here now is Ryan Marchant. Riley Soldan. A chance with minutes to go in this first half for Quakers Juniors to maybe push forward and find a second goal, which I think be a resolute moment in the game. Time for Dominici, who's one of the best at bringing the ball down off of his chest. Jake Taylor wants the switch from his captain. Risky pass, given away. Dominici picks it back up, then he loses it. Marchant up high, goes for the back heel. Cheeky, you don't mind it. That's the place to do it if you're going to. Surgeon wins it ahead of Brian Grandamange. One there, Alessi. Saltaraga gives it away. Chance here. If they could just get that scooped behind the shoulder pass correct, it would have really been on there. Sent forward again. And while it's not been the best example of footballing purity in this first half, it's been fun nonetheless. Will there be a second goal in it? Well read there by Hannon. Much better by Geordie Hannon. That's something he'll be happy with. Lovely flick by Eichen. Correa needs to be quick with it. Surgeon's quick. Grandamange is quicker. The keeper in no man's land gets it away. Correa! Correa! Oh! And just wide. And the game was nearly broken open by the most unlikely of goals. What a freak moment that would have been, almost was. Quakers Junior survive a scare, but that's realistically, that is Doonside's best chance in 45 minutes. And if that had fallen to Marcus Correa's stronger right foot, would we be talking at 1-1 right now? Alessi needs to be, as one of those senior players, someone who steps up in the second half for Dooney. Ryan Marchant, as one of the senior players, for example, for Quakers Juniors, has stepped up to the occasion. Spoke on the podcast about knowing how to play against these teams because he obviously played against or played with a lot of them in the All-Stars preparation in a game in which he was fantastic. Surgeon, so strong and brave. Chance here. If this ball stays in, massive chance here. Where's his support? Running through is Riley Soldan. Salinas is obviously left-footed. He's going to try and angle it onto that side of his body. Given away, falls to Ryan Dominici. Now Doonside will try and get it going quickly the other way. Again, Jake Taylor caught sleeping there. Picked back up here by Quakers, but not enough time to formulate another attack because it's going to be called half-time pretty much with only 30 seconds added on. A very, very interesting first half indeed, in which Quakers Juniors eventually found themselves at the races, and the champions Doonside Hawks have not come to the party just yet. A game broken open by an own goal, but by the brilliance of Gatsby Tuiteka Gray on his return to the club. It's been interesting. It's been very, very interesting. But will it change much in the second half? Come back in about 10 minutes or so. Keep your eyes on your YouTube screen. Don't turn the sound off, because we'll be back when they are. See you soon. The second half of the first match of the round of the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1 competition is about to kick off once again. Of course, Quakers Hill Juniors came out of the blocks as probably the team that was struggling to find their feet. Then after about 10 or 15 or so, they really started strutting their stuff. Doonside Hawks, of course, the champions, and twice in the last 3 years, to add a bit of context behind it. You'd expect them to come out in this second half firing. This is also a fixture that has favoured their play style, undefeated in it for 4 years. Can they find their way back in this second half? If they are to keep the winning streak going, they'll need 2 goals. If they're to keep the undefeated streak going, they'll need to be a lot sharper as Gatsby Gray takes the first shot of the second half. And we have a goal kick already. My name is Mark DePoli. Thanks for joining us. And this is going to be fun. Felt like a quick half-time break. Barely had time to revisit a bottle of water. But it looks like these two teams were just eager to get back out there. And to be honest, that makes me really excited too. No changes, it seems, either. Personnel still the same. Wonder if we'll see more of Riley Soldan in this second half. I was a really massive fan of the number 25 in the first. But of course, the star of the show has been Ryan Marchant and Gatsby Gray through the spine of the junior side. A junior side which is not so junior anymore, with these senior boys returning to the fold. Well won there by Connor May, who also reclaimed his iconic 39 jersey. Garlow in the 32. Sol Surgeon used to have 45. That's been taken, though, I do believe. Taylor being closed down by a high-pressing Quakers Juniors unit, the Jules Bombach way. Howarth relaxed it a little bit, sent it to his centre-back, who finds his centre-back partner, now finds Dominici. I think Dominici's the key to unlocking this game. Right on cue, gives it away. I should stop talking. Marchant. You guys know full well that I'm a fan of the productive number 6. And he gets through a lot of work, a lot of industry as well in his boots. Surgeon, too much even for him. Byron Grandemange to compete with, both those two on yellow cards. Great to be able to watch that battle underneath our eyes in the second half. Centre-back to centre-back once again. It's something that Dooney do so often. It's switched from each defender across the side of the pitch and then come down the other flank. Been watching it for years. Gatsby Gray picks it off. Coming in hard though. And giving away a free kick and hurting himself was Geordie Hannon. So still Iken, Correa and Byron Grandemange, although Correa's returned to the central striker role. Off the flanks, the number 7 and the number 9. Into touch straight away, given away off the free kick. Imagine when this Quakers junior side welcome back their 2 new midfielders. Well, new you can't use for the name Matt Pombart. But for their brand new signing to the team, whose name's Ergun Dalak. Very different story. Brand new signing should bring Quakers Juniors level even higher. I watched him in the Australia Cup game and was very, very impressed with what I saw. Well, on a day of high-scoring matches all across the park, an average of 5 goals a game in the 3 matches that were played on grass in first grade today. Are we going to get a bit more of that influence in this one? In the last 6 meetings between these two, there's only been 1 game where both teams in aggregate have eclipsed 5 goals, or I should say touched on 5 goals, and that was the most recent meeting, which was at 3-2 in Dooney's way, that went and was played at Quakers Juniors Park, of course. Competing in the air, Zano, and with Marcus Correa teeing one up from distance, it was always trickling wide. Quakers Juniors didn't really have the territorial advantage in the first half, but when they were able to break, they so often found themselves in opportunities where they looked likely to at least create a shot on goal. Silly giveaway by Liam Howarth. Jake Taylor steps in, gives it away quickly. Here is Byron Grandemage. Wins a free kick. Right. Now, who will step over this? It will be Liam Howard, who from this position in the semi-final last year picked up 2 assists against Marion. That's a good-looking ball again, and Balcom just about got a hand to it. Past Dominici here to Salturaga on his starting first grade match of the round debut. Back towards Howarth. Better by Junior as they pile on some pressure. Grandemage in a 1v1. That's where he's most dangerous. Back towards goal, though. Is going to find Howarth. Ball delivered towards the back stick. Ethan Eichen clipped it back across the face of goal. Grandemage took a pot shot at it. And out it goes off of a green jersey for a maroon throw. The Hawks set their sights on goal. Delivery in by Dominici, given away. Looks a little frustrated with himself there. This could be a big coming together here. Hannon read it a bit poorly, and Mogga was allowed to keep it under no real duress. Zwerev's always going to win in a foot race. Put on some size in the off-season too, as Jaden. Eats the corner flag as a punishment for using his body well, though. Quite a whole lot darker here as well in this second half. Something we'll have to get used to as we head towards the winter months of the year. It's what makes this sport and these match of the round occasions so special. Triangles in green. Touch off of a Doonside boot. It will be a Quakers Juniors throw. Certainly didn't want to start their day without a victory to their name. Or start their season, I should say, without a victory to their name across all 3 squads. A draw, a hammering. But now they're in front. We've seen already 2 comebacks from deficits. Both Marion and Riverston found themselves behind in their games and went on to win as well. They play very quickly, right back out of position. Blocked shot. Hannon. And then just powered in the direction of goal. Easily claimed. Byron Grandemage gets a chance to stretch his legs, but Riley Soldaten closed him down well. Ooh, player down, and it will be a throw-in. Only because Geordie Hannon's feeling worse for wear. Apologies. Just a reminder, I am currently battling a flu. My apologies if I'm sounding a little nasally and a little congested. So, real concern here for Geordie Hannon. Currently on the sideline, though. Knowing him, the right back who is tough as they come, will find a way somehow back on the pitch. But he certainly looks a little hampered. Quakers Juniors, it will be their throw-in, but will they be kind enough to give the ball back? Already 10 minutes into this second half. Soul Surgeon says we'll give the ball back. Prank the entire team and the referee there. A little giggle around those who are in the lead. And Dudgeon from Doonside gets us back underway and launches it long. And they'll probably lose it again. And again, Doonside are not finding themselves in any real meaningful attacking positions so far in this one. What will it take for that to change? Grenamange delivers in off the back of Alessi, hustling hard to keep the ball. Taylor, and then Alessi's powered to the ground, doesn't accept the hand up in apology. Hannon then hits the deck. This time a foul is called. Right, Zverev goes forward this time, and that's how you know the Doonside are looking for a goal. When their fearless captain gets anywhere near the ball in the box from a set piece, it's a real chance on goal. Decent delivery, Correa. Oh, I think it just got a touch by Ryan Marchant. And so far, my player of the match steps in again with another crucial, maybe the most crucial touch in the entire game from a Quakers juniors perspective. Wow. But Doonside are starting to pile on the pressure a little bit. Can they make the most of their second half dominance? Cleared away Logan Van Klooster. Riley Soldan away. Struck a goal, blocked both times. Alessi. Forgive me, it was Dominici out wide. And Zeno and saw it out for a corner. Inside in no rush to take this quickly. There's plenty of this game still to go, of course. It'll be the in-swinger of the left-footed Liam Howarth. Far side corner towards the front post and cleared away by Gatsby Gray in that 7 jersey. "46 goals last season, not including assists for Doonside's front three, but nearly 2/3 of the way into this game. They can't seem to find one against the team who they so often beat, and beat at this ground too. Is that changing now with the spill? No. Saved eventually by Nick Balcom. And away by the hat-wearing goalkeeper. Turns 25 this year. Here's the first touch of the day from Matt Pombart, who's of course not in the squad due to injury. Should be back next week, though, we've been told. Be warned. Surgeon with a big header. Marchant. It's opening up here for Quakers. Wrong decision, it seems, in the end. I think that was Eichen who got all the way back and made that clearance. Dangerous by Logan Van Klooster. That's a youngin's pass, and they're just... I hate to sound like a broken record, but they are just not on the same wavelength up top. At all. It is a hard watch. Quakers juniors by far playing the more aesthetically pleasing football. Bad challenge. Yellow card, Gatsby Gray. And Doonside just inside the opposition half will have a free kick. This time it's the captain standing over it. That's a really good looking ball in the right kind of area. It's been cleared away by this green Quakers junior side who are playing the better football at the moment. Something brewing here, perhaps Salturaga towards Alessi. Cleared away across goal, a little dangerous here. Grandin Angels threatening, cleared away. This could bounce awkwardly if Jeff Mogger keeps pressing. Well done there by Dudgeon. That was really, really assured. Tinge of cold sweeps over this lovely footballing precinct. It's dropped a couple of degrees in the last couple of minutes. Brilliant by Surgeon on his return to competitive football. Down he goes. Helped to his feet by the best blue eyes in the comp, Ryan Dominici. Could sell milk to a cow, that guy. Zane Owen lumps it forward. Quakers Juniors, ever the aesthetics when it comes to the football in terms of what they'd prefer to do, but they don't mind lumping it in from a good old set piece. Sliding challenge. City got the ball. I think that's Luca Gallo on the far side. No, it's not. Might be Will Salinas. Either way, cautioned. Just heating up a little bit with the mention of the cold. A bit of a reaction by both benches just then. And away by Zwerb. And straight to Marchant. Two all-star favourites coming together there. So much time to play that ball. I don't think it's easy as saying that Doonside haven't necessarily come to the races today. I think it's as easy as saying that tactically they have been outdone today as Salturaga picks up a caution. The yellow cards are flying at the moment for these professional fouls. There is a clear way of playing, and I also think that an Australian Cup game on Wednesday night probably didn't help for those Dooney boys out there. Although you'd imagine the 4 days rest enough time. Past now the 2/3 mark of the game. This will be Logan Van Klooster's ball in. Dangerous ball in. Cleared away, it seems, I think by Eichen. Surgeon. Correa in strong though. Tried the back heel. No. Not happening at the moment. Keep it simple, you Hawks boys. Alessi here now. Needs to be really careful, does well to find his Italian brother in midfield. Eichen. Straight to Balcom, although it wasn't called properly. Chance for Doonside from seemingly nothing. Alessi to equal it. Unbelievable. Balcom apologising to his defence, who have worked hard to maintain a clean sheet so far. It was almost quite literally handed to Doonside there. Players starting to look a little tired and fatigued out there. Been asked in our Facebook live chat, how did the Tigers go today? They went down today to Riverston. Keep the questions coming. Sent him behind, just a little bit over hip, but the vision is impeccable. Awkward for Howell to control, but he's finding his top speed. He knew the man was coming, right footed past to Satsuraga. Byron Grandamange looking for a goal on his Dooney debut. Larkin goes down. Free kick, dangerous position. Well, this could just about warrant Doonside's best chance of the game. Who will take it, though? Looks like it'll be Byron. Well, Byron Grandamange stands over a free kick on his Doonside debut. Two-time Player of the Year. Tried to go under the wall. Did not happen at all. Helped to his feet by Ryan Marchant. Well, it was right from that spot that he scored against scored for the PL2 All-Stars many years ago now against the Spartans 20s men. Mogger, chance. Running at tired legs, down he goes. No indication at all of a second thought from Jason McManus. It was not a foul. Game starting to heat into life. Jake Taylor, wow. I will try and reiterate, not that obviously Doonside are listening to this right now, but I feel like the facilitating of long balls should be coming from their midfield generals like Alessi and this man here, Ryan Dominici. Let's see what he can do. Not necessarily their centre-backs. Put him behind Grandamange, cut out by Surgeon, who's had his number today. And then he gives it away. Icon, will he potentially take on one himself? How many games has it been in Icon's entire senior career that he's gone a game without a shot? Because so far he hasn't had one yet today. Okay, so Logan Van Klooster, after a really healthy stint in the 21s game, is going to finally go off. Some really, really great minutes for him. Now that might be Rowan Iski who's coming on if it's the 34 jersey. That will be proved true. And there it is. You want to hope by now after all these years. Talented 20-year-old still registered as a 21s player, which is a really healthy thing because you can register as many as you'd like from a squad listing perspective, whereas you're capped at reserve and first level. Ooh, there was definitely question marks over that there. Was that a foul? Did he pull him back? Would he have got the ball if he wasn't? Grandamange running, Surgeon backpedaling. Grandamange is there. Elbow was a little high, has to be really careful on the yellow as well. Iski came in hard. Grandamange wanted the free kick. Riley sold down from a central position, running wide. You're never going to beat that man in a foot race. Quakers getting forward quickly. That was definitely a foul throw. Wasn't called though. Iski with fresh legs, sliding challenge, Jake Taylor. What is McManus giving this as? I think he's giving it as a throw-in. Big signing, by the way, out of Town Rangers FC. I've been told at half-time that Aro Gar, of course, formerly of Mariong, is now dropping down a division to go to the mighty Town Rangers. So have they now become the favourites in PL2? Potentially. Doonside clear away a precarious looking Quakers Juniors attack and trying to launch their own. Alessi now in behind. That's better. But here comes the keeper, Balcom. One in the air by Taylor. One in the air by Satsuraga. One in the air by Dominici. Trying to twist past Will Salinas. Really good work by Ryan Dominici. Now he's getting a bit further forward. Frustrated with this current scoreline, I'm sure. Gets it under control and turns past Riley Soldan. Bustles him to the ground. Sends one into next week. Recycled here towards Grandamange. Cuts onto his right. Trying to unleash a shot. Past Rowan Iski. Byron Grandamange Just wide of the right-hand upright. It's better by Doonside. They're getting closer. You boys might be going to their bench. I do think they are. I will let you know who's coming on the second. I know. I think Joshy Atkins, in a fixture that means a lot to him, is going to come on at right back. So Geordie Hannon, after those injury concerns late in the first half, is coming off. And if there's a man moving into the striking position, that means it's probably Maury Konate. Nearly a grand final hero himself. It's been called here. Just tracking down the subs, apparently. In that 47 jersey, Maury Konate. Welcome back to a ground in which the last time you played, you won a grand final. Atkins in strong. He's competing with Salinas for the last 20 minutes or so of this game. Someone listening to the nut push down in our bleachers. They'll get you going, especially on a cold old night. Konate, here it comes to Correa. Grandam Angels free for the cutback. Konate in strong. There's 4 attackers on the pitch. For duty now, Howarth forward. Inside is Grandam Angel. Inside is Correa. Icon in there too. I think they're playing a 4-2-4. Ball delivered in. Good looking ball, Konate. Balcom. For juniors, the goalkeeper claims. So it's a midfield of Alessi and Ryan Dominici. They're going to have to work their butts off to keep this game in the balance. And ball by Moga. Ooh. They play quickly. Here is Alessi. Going to be all hands on deck for the last 20 minutes. I'm absolutely sure there will be a second goal. Whether it's for Quakers or it's for Dooney, I'm not sure. If it's to be Quakers, it'll be on the break against a tired and very attack-minded Dooney side. If it's for Dooney, it'll be I'm sure, some kind of a last gasp equaliser. That's the kind of game we're heading towards. I feel it. Right, Howarth. Grandamange. Infield square pass to find Dominici. Poor decision. Looks frustrated with himself again. Howarth goes back to his captain being lightly pressed. Goes back towards Howarth. Ryan Dominici. Liam Howarth. 1-2. Beautiful. Better. Intercepted by Zane Owen. Put in a great shift on his competitive Laing Simmons Blacktown men's Premier League debut. And he's feeling the strain on his right hamstring. He scored, of course, in the 21s game prior to this a couple of hours ago. So he's had more than just the 73 minutes or so in his legs today. 20 years old though, he can probably do that for a little bit longer before that becomes a more difficult thing. Can run all day at that age. Right, he's back up though. Here is Ryan Dominici. He's going to lose the ball here, but he wins a free kick. I don't know how he's won that free kick. So will Grandamange get it again? He's actually walking away from this one. It's actually going to be Ryan Dominici who stands over it. Well, we know how Kyle can hit one. What about this man right here? Younger brother of 2 years. Balcom setting up his 3-man wall of Luka Garlo, Oraniski, and I believe Riley Soldan. Ryan Dominici, I feel like this will be a clip in rather than it will be a shot on goal. Either way, it's dangerous. Struck a goal, handball was called. Where about it? 4-2. Surely there was a penalty shout there. I think Correa was just lunched in the back by Gatsby Gray. Helped to his feet by Sol Surgeon. Nothing of it. Oh, and then given away by Howarth Iski there. I have to give my apology to Daniel Soldan, who I mixed up with Sal Keld. His name is not Riley. It is, in fact, Daniel. I had it right the first time. Been calling him for most of this game his wrong first name. Hope he can forgive me. I wouldn't if it was me. Anyway, back in play. Here we are. Chance here for Byron Grandamange. Running in behind is his strike partner, and they just can't seem to find Correa, who was just monstered in the box a couple of moments ago. Now they come down the right-hand side channel. Ball delivered in by Eichen, who's really playing as a pure winger today. Correa turning. Can he get the shot off? Howarth now blocked by Surgeon with all his might. They want a handball. Sol's put his hands straight to his head. We're going to look at an instant replay. Doonside are absolutely adamant that was a handball. Absolutely adamant. Sol Surgeon's playing the quote-unquote victim card, if you like. I'm going to have a look at it now. My replay's catching up to me. It was a Correa turn, and then Howarth hit it. Oh, it's as clear as day. Oh, my word. The talking point of the season, and we're in round one. Oh, my word. On we go. Towards the front post. Headed away. Howarth should have gone down there. Wouldn't want a penalty. Either way, throw in it will be. I'm going to quickly watch this again. Oh, no, it's an AFL tackle. Surgeon, you're a lucky boy. Away it goes. A massive talking point in round one of the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 1. And the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup is heating up. Ball delivered in. Well done by Surgeon. Oh my word, Doonside are going to feel hard done by. Wow. Ball delivered in Howarth. In fact, it was Eichen, and it was going wide. And his first shot on goal comes in the 75th minute, 77th in fact, and it goes wide. The only way I can see around that not being a handball is if it's considered in a natural position because he was falling. Or did he throw himself in front of it with his hands outstretched? You watch it back and you be the judge. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Save of the season in round 1 too. So subs happening now. Gatsby Gray making his way off. In the number 40 jersey, Aidan Hughes comes on, looking for his first match of the round goal. He will be 1-0. The only goal to talk about is Jordan Hannon's own goal. Great pass. Iski cut out. Howarth, who's motivated now. Forward he goes. In again. If it had gone down, he would have got a second yellow. Down he goes. Handball wasn't called. That one was nowhere near. Living dangerously, Surgeon. The most dangerous we've seen. Here it is. Big chance. Mogga play the ball. Hughes for his first match of the round goal. Wide. Looked like he just hadn't settled into the game at all. Ryan March and his captain telling him to just cut it back in. Oh, well, this is hard to watch. This is making your hair stand up. Doonside screaming blue in the face at each other at the moment. Oh, I see the vision. Eventually it's worked out by hook or by crook. Eichen now cuts back onto his left. It's Ethan Eichen. In stood Daniel Soldan. And in again, the 20-year-old. Mogga, strong work in the press all day. His coach will love that. Yes, he's giving him the round of applause. And then he goes down. Wow, what a couple of moments in the game. And Aiden Hughes' chance, a soul surgeon dive bomb on the ball, and then he, if the left back Liam Howard had gone down, it would have been a second yellow on the second debut of Soul Surgeon. Unbelievable stuff. This is the entertainment we've missed for 203 days. And when Doonside watched that back, Atkins in very strong there. Byron competing with the pace of the ball in the outline, he loses. Howarth, who's looking really motivated. He's got a second lung, a third lung, I should say, towards the back stick. Oh, I can. It's his bread and butter. And now Quakers Juniors holding on for all their might as Doonside throw everything forward to try and find an equaliser. It's not just about an undefeated record. It's not just about what it means to win the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup. It's about starting strong in a league where maybe the quality of the top 6 teams is the strongest it's been in the near 50-year history of this association. Any dropped points could prove to be critical. And as we've seen from this Quakers Juniors team, they're no slouch. The boys are back. Aiden Hughes, fresh legs off the bench, played a bit in the reserve grade game. This is brilliant, Aiden Hughes. Aiden Hughes still just about taken off him. Took 3 players in tandem to slow him down. Dominici. Didn't read it right, Byron Grandamange. 8 minutes to go, and probably not too much to add on top of that. How much longer will this game have in total? Strong by Jake Taylor, just about legal enough. Stabbed with the outside of the boot. Surgeon, better from him. So well timed. Which is the most difficult thing to do, your timing when it comes to shots, tackles and all that in between when you've returned from football after a year off, but he's doing so well. Mogga missed it, left it perhaps. Howarth, space for Alessi. Yep, it's really all hands on deck at the back for Quakers Juniors. They're going to allow Dooney to come at them, but perhaps Iski and his fresh legs will say something about that. Howarth steps in. 2 options up the line, he goes down. Easiest yellow card of the night. This one for Rowan Iski. Howarth winning his, 7th foul of the game? Need to start a Liam Howarth foul counter at this point. He's the most foul player in the league, bar none. And it's not even close, Leo Senna. Sent into the March night sky towards Icon. Loves a goal in this kind of occasion. Correa turning, Surgeon stepping in. Kept in Grandamange. Hughes couldn't win it back unless he did. Oh, this is Blacktown football at its entertaining best. Doesn't need to have a million goals to be a bit of fun, as we've learnt this second half. As Doonside get desperate. Another free kick from about 30-35 yards out. First it was Grandamange, then it was Dominici. This time it'll be Alessi, it seems. Just powered at goal, and off the back of the last couple of attempts, maybe just power it at the goalkeeper and see if some kind of kerfuffle happens in the box. Jeff Mogga's going to go off. Let's see who's come on. Might be Riley Salkeld. Can't quite confirm just yet. Need to see a jersey number. Either way, there are warning signs flashing for those juniors, boys. Alessi powers it towards goal. Most solid catch of the night for Balcom when his team needed him to do it most. Oh, what colour's the card? Yellow. Teetering on the edge. Very smart foul in the end by Zwerb because they were in there. Antonio Bailar in that 30 jersey, 33 I should say, who's just come on. How's that to warm you up to the game? How are your legs feeling now? 5 minutes to go. Quakers Juniors on the cusp of a famous win. Goal kick the call. Lots of yellow cards given out today. Here's a man on one. This is Liam Howarth. Launched forward. Correa flicked on! And then away by Zane Owen. Joshy Atkins. Maury Konate, barely seen him on the ball at all. You want him in the box, not on the edges. Left-footed ball delivered in by Atkins, not really his bread and butter. Dominici getting frustrated and just took a shot and killed the momentum of that move. 5 to go still. And Juniors will do their best to slow this down as much as they can. Nails being bitten of those from both teams. Geez, these two have had some great games in the last couple of years. I throw my mind back to Jay Gillelan's 1-0 winner in extra time of a knockout semi-final. A 1-0 game that one was to Salinas. Beautiful. One back there by Josh Atkins, though. Yellow card challenge on Marchant, perhaps. No, he's escaped. One there. I don't feel like this game has seen its last goal. Got a feeling Quakers might just snag one on the break, but of course you can't count out Doonside, who are throwing their goalkeeper past the halfway line to take this free kick. So all numbers in the box. I probably wouldn't be this desperate just yet. There's still 3 minutes or so to go after this. Delivered in. It's a little bit shallow. Seconds for Dominici. Needs to get rid of it quickly. He's going to lose the ball. Absolutely ploughed through his man there. And Dominici will receive the umpteenth yellow card of this match. All of these boys out there in the midfield now, at least those who started on yellow cards. In fact, Dominici's second yellow card, yes it is, and he's off. And Doonside's day has gone from bad to worse, and it's about to become terrible. Because they're just minutes away from their championship defence starting with 0 points on the board. And Ryan Dominici, I have to be honest, from the get-go has seemed a slightly frustrated figure. He was tasked with getting forward a little bit more tonight. And I wonder if maybe the lack of ball time and action that he got in the first half kind of annoyed him a little bit. And that frustration has only increased as they've gone behind and struggled to make real good opportunities as the game's gone on. And as a result, he's lost his head and he's got sent off. And it's not a moment he'll be proud of. Dooney staring down the barrel of a loss to start their season. Their title rivals, you have to say, Marion picked up full points, as did Eastern Creek. Workers got the bye. And Quakers Juniors, perhaps also their title rivals, are about to pick up 3 points over them. 4 straight Ryndon Memorial Cup wins. Of course, Quakers Juniors picked up the first win in the Memorial Cup some 6 years ago. And they are counting down the seconds until that streak is broken And the cup goes back their way. Oh, Whiskey, brilliant. Taylor cleared it forward, but Ryan March is standing in acres of space, full of running at 35 years old. They gave it away, though. Ryan Marchant, still my player of the match. What a performance. Seriously solid. Konate, a foot race. Icon's not going to get there. Well, this could have all been so different, of course, if there was a handball called in the box 15 or so minutes ago. And perhaps we would have been tied at 1-1 heading into these last 15. It would have been a very different tactical approach from Doonside if they were level. But that's not how this game went. And sometimes you get the rub of the green, sometimes you don't. Byron has to be careful. He's on the yellow card too! And he was nearly sent to the showers early as well. We are 16 seconds past, I should say 30 seconds past added time. I can still imagine there'll be a long time added on though, at least 2 to 3 minutes. Quakers Juniors, this has been an eye-opening performance to the competition and to those who make predictions about them. And they're going to hold it in the corner. Ryan Marchant strong. Ball for Quakers Juniors too. A look at the watch by the referee, Jason McManus. Two minutes has already been played in this added on time. There could be a confirming goal here is where it picks it up and sends it away. This will be one of their last chances, you'd have to say. Icon trying his best into Surgeon Hard. He'll go down. Sent away. Ball still in play though, while there's still a hug and a kiss between those two. This might be it. Doonside with everyone bar one forward. Alessi under control. Straight to Connor May, who's been great tonight as well. Atkins goes down. Right, well, a free kick. And now everyone needs to go forward for Dooney. Everybody needs to get forward right now. This is it. This will be the last chance of the game. Get everyone in the box and prepare yourselves for what could be the craziest end to a game we've seen in a long time. Dooney fans cross their fingers. Quakers Juniors fans cross their toes as well. In it comes. Cleared away. Corner. Will it be given? Corner it is. We go on. As this game crescendos to an enthralling end. What a way to open the season. Matt Dudgeon comes forward. This could be something sensational. He's at least 6'2". In he goes. In swinger. Here it comes. Away, up and away. Corner again. We still go on. Move the coffee away from the side of your armchair, because if this goes in, it's going all over your carpet. Dudgeon stays there, almost on the goal line, putting pressure on his opposing number one. Maybe the last chance. Here it is. Ball delivered in. And it's cleared. Balcom, Zverev under control. Jaden Zverev! And then the follow-up! And then who's it fallen to? A penalty! Oh my word! I don't believe it. I do not believe it. What has it been given for? McManus goes straight to the sideline to see. Confirmation, confirmation. Where will he point? Doonside don't get their penalty. What a moment. What a fixture. A look at the watch. Doonside feel hard done by. But on we go. Zverev, was he pushed? Quakers Juniors threatening. Still we go on. Is this the last chance? Doondy need to get it forward. Stabbed wide. McManus will let them go on. Grandamange in behind. Can the ball sit in for him? What a win for Quakers Juniors! It's one of the great club wins in recent history. That might just feel as good as a trophy. One of the most hard-fought 1-0s I've ever witnessed. It has to be said, Doonside denied 2 penalties. The second one, I will admit, I have not seen. The first one could certainly warrant a massive conversation after this. But the Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup, after 5 long years of waiting and 4 straight losses, will head back to Quakers Juniors' home park of Quakers Park. What a contest we witnessed out there. We saw a red card, 2 penalty shouts, a goalkeeper in the box for a couple of corners. And in the end, a 1-0 that felt like a 5-4. It was back and forth in that second half. And the entertainment that we longed for in the first was provided in spades in the second, in what's one of the most memorable opening days, surely, in recent history, between the 4-2 down there and the 5-2 as well as Eastern Creek's win too. Now we've had this, a totally different type of game, but just as fun, all things considered. A Jordan Hannon own goal splits it on Ryan Dimic Memorial Cup opening game day. The champions' defence has certainly had a spanner thrown in the works, and Quakers Hill Juniors might have just announced themselves as a team contending for top spot. What a big performance, but geez, there were some talking points. Oh, well, I'll take a breath and let you know that next week at 4 p.m, Doonside will take on Quakers Hill Tigers at Glendinning Reserve. Eastern Creek will do the Green Derby up against Quakers Juniors. And then our first match of the round will be heading to the Laing Simmons Blacktown Men's Premier League 2. As Prospect in their first game since their relegation and rebuild will take on Newbury. We've got some new signings to be really excited about. Same time, same place, just 7 days from now. My name is Mark DePoli. Thank you for being here and witnessing one of the great recent games. And I'll see you this time next week. Been a pleasure. Goodbye.
And he's going to say a few words and present the trophy to juniors.
First and foremost, thanks for everyone for coming out today. We really appreciate doing this day every year. It means a lot to myself personally and to my family and friends. So thank you everybody. To Quakers Hill, well done boys, well deserved. You guys are better on the day. And we've been you guys to start the season. Boys, it wasn't for us today, but we'll come back stronger next week. Get off on the table.
So that's it guys, for week 1, have a safe trip home and we'll see you again soon.